it's the dream. Speed and drama every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Like Fernando calls the play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Not Fernando calls the play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Deaf Queen, the top supporter scene, in the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see.
Thursday night lights blur the track, engines scream, fight back, rubber burns, dreams collide, the circuit's a beast we can't hide, chasing shadows round the bend, where does it stop, when does it end? Red line racing, hearts on fire, chasing glory, chasing wire, every turn a story breaking. Thursday night, the ground is shaking. Bloodstained hands grip the wheel, 1,000 truths, none feel real. Rivals whisper, curses fly, wings clip, engines cry. Flicker of red, a flash of gold, victory's price never told. Oh, oh, oh. Red line racing, hearts on fire, chasing glory, chasing wire, every turn a story breaking. Thursday night, the ground is shaking. Flash of gold, victory's price never told. Victory's price never told. Red line racing, hearts on fire, chasing glory, chasing wire, every turn a story breaking. Thursday night, the ground is shaking. hide. ZFR, the pulse, the sound. Nothing ever calls it round by round. Highs and lows, the thrill, the sting, the viewers return. Let the madness begin. A champion crowned, a season's knife. Broadcast the roar, the passion, the pain. An NF artist in the storm and the rain. ZFR, the pulse, the sound. Nothing ever calls it round by round. Highs and lows, the thrill, the sting, the viewers return. Let the madness begin.
Red line, it's on tonight. Under the lights, burning so bright. Feel the heat, can you feel it? Can you feel the heat? Oh yeah. Red line racing, Thursday night. Thursday night. Red line racing, gonna be alright. Alright. Red line racing, drive. Just drive. Red line racing, alive. Drama, drama on the track. No looking back. Gotta attack. Feel the heat. Can you feel it? Can you feel the heat? Oh yeah. Red line racing, Thursday night. Thursday night. Red line racing, gonna be alright. Alright. Red line racing, drive. Just drive. Just drive. Red line racing, alive. Alive. Red line racing, Thursday night. No looking back, gotta attack. Feel the heat, can you feel it? Can you feel the heat? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Red line racing, Thursday night. Thursday night. Red line racing, gonna be alright. Alright. Red line racing, drive. Just drive. Just drive. Red line racing, alive. Alive.
In the quiet lanes of Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Let's Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Under neon lights and engine screams, she's the guardian of our speed-filled dreams. With skull in flight and alien on the chase, she's the calm in the storm, our guiding grace. Andre by her side, loyal and strong, their love's been racing all along. But it's the brotherhood she holds so near, with every lap she makes it clear. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid, with every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Trophies shine, but not like her pride, watching Skull and Andre glide. She's there in silence, she's there in roar, in every circuit, every lore. From midnight spins to dawn's first light, she's always there holding us tight. No crash too deep, no curve too wide, with her in spirit, we rise, we ride. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid, with every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. She ain't just a fan, she's a legacy born, through every F1 storm we wore. Holding the line, fierce and unseen, forever our monarch, our Death Queen. Oh, Death Queen, heart of the grid, with every cheer she lifts the lid on fears, on doubt she tears through night. Her voice, our fuel, our fearless light. From cockpit to coach she stands supreme, a true believer in the brotherhood dream. Oh, Death Queen, in shadows and gleam, you are the queen of our sim racing team. Yeah, oh, Death Queen, you are the queen of our sim racing team.
ground, night bleeds, neon in the rear view. Thursdays, heat, rubber screech, smell the fear too. Grid flying, rivals glare, tension so thick. Paddock whispers, who's fast, who's slick. Flags drop, hearts pound like pistons in sync. Shadows of glory vanish in a blink. Crimson streaks cutting curves, a red-lit stage. Dreams combust, every lap turns the page. Red line racing, where legends ignite. Under Thursday's moon, engines bite. Drama burns, hotter than a track on fire. Speed chases fame, fueled by desire. Pit crews scrambling strategist chess moves. Seconds slip faster than a final groove. Road racer takes risk, tires kiss the edge. Sponsors bet fortunes on that concrete ledge. Rookies crash hopes, veterans hold the wheel. Deals in the dark, secrets they conceal. One champion crowned, but the scars remain. Throttle through the heartbreak, glory and pain. Night races hold secrets, whispers and roars. Victory tastes sweeter behind closed doors. Legends ground, night bleeds, neon in the rear view. Thursdays, heat, rubber screech, smell the fear too. Creeks line, rivals glare, tension so thick. Paddock whispers, who's fast, who's slick. Flags drop, hearts pound like pistons in sync. Shadows of glory vanish in a blink. Crimson streaks cutting curves, a red-lit stage. Dreams combust, every lap turns the page. Red line racing, where legends ignite. Under Thursday's moon, engines bite. Drama burns, hotter than a track on fire. Speed chases fame, fueled by desire. Pit crews scrambling strategies, chess moves. Seconds slip faster than a final groove. Road racer takes risk, tires kiss the edge. Sponsors bet fortunes on that concrete ledge. Rookies crash hopes, veterans hold the wheel. Deals in the dark, secrets they conceal. One champion crowned, but the scars remain. Throttle through the heartbreak, glory and pain. Night races hold secrets, whispers and roars. Victory tastes sweeter behind closed doors.
Max the Maverick. He rolls to the grid, eye sharp as a blade. A storm in the cockpit, never afraid. Teammates tremble, they can't keep pace. Max takes the wheel, owns every race. From car to crown, he carved his way. A predator born to slay the day. The records fall, the doubters fade. A legend's forged, the price is paid. Max Verstappen, king of the fight. Burning the track in the dead of night.
Are you crazy?
Leaves them behind. Fastest heart with a mastermind. Not the quickest car, but he still shines. Bends the rules, rewrites the lines. Max Verstappen, hear the roar. The champ who always begs for more. Are born, they tried their best, but Max just laughs, aces the test. He dances through corners, a devil's art. Tears up the field, rips it apart. Red Bull's wings, they used to soar. Now it's Max who evens the score. The car's not prime, the rivals grin, but he still finds a way to win. Max Verstappen, king of the fight. Burning the track in the dead of night. Outruns the pack, leaves them behind. Fastest heart with a mastermind. Not the quickest car, but he still shines. Bends the rules, rewrites the lines. Max Verstappen, hear the roar. The champ who always begs for more. Monaco streets,
the dream. Speed and drama every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, our only friend. Fernando calls the play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, our only friend. Not Fernando calls the play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, our only friend. Deaf Queen, the top supporter scene, in the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see.
Thursday night lights blur the track, engines scream, fight back, rubber burns, dreams collide, the circuit's a beast we can't hide, chasing shadows round the bend, where does it stop, when does it end? Red line racing, hearts on fire, chasing glory, chasing wire, every turn a story breaking. Thursday night, the ground is shaking. Bloodstained hands grip the wheel, 1,000 truths, none feel real. Rivals whisper, curses fly, wings clip, engines cry. Flicker of red, a flash of gold, victory's price never told.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to NFR. Welcome back to Redline Racing on a Thursday night. Full field in tonight, just the 9 drivers. We might still have 1 or 2 squeezing in before the race, but for the time being, look like 9 drivers. Maybe half the field fearing Suzuka. A circuit that needs introduction. Circuit that's been on the calendar ever since I've watched Formula One. I've been watching Formula One for quite a while. Another circuit throughout the years, it's also been able to maintain its layout. Not really much changes to speak of on this circuit. The biggest change is that final chicane. Of course, at one stage that chicane went in the other direction, and the pit entry actually started before the chicane. Besides that, the track is mostly the same. Of course, its initial design was rejected because of budget constraints, but that original layout would have had 4 flyovers rather than just the one. Perry already out on a lap. In fact, almost everybody out on a lap. Only Top Gun sitting in the pits for now. Playing the waiting game, maybe just waiting for the racetrack to empty up. Perry starts his quick lap. I think the first man to start a quick lap was Will. It wasn't. I think it was Perry. The only Ferrari here tonight. A lot of drivers will be missing their teammates. We do have 2 RBs. We do have 2 Red Bulls. I think everybody else missing their teammates. So full allotment of Red Bull drivers. Of course, everybody out there on the soft tyre. Common that you see anybody messing about with the mediums or anything else in qualifying, so completely normal, everybody out on the soft tyre. All about that 1 lap pace, throwing everything at that tyre. Doesn't matter if that tyre is only good enough for 1 lap. Gonna throw it away after this. Perry's going purple, but that's because he's the lead car on the circuit. These lap times will come down. Around the final corner, set the first lap of the night. It's a 1:28.1. That is the benchmark for the rest of the drivers to follow. Will goes over the line, 1:30.2. Bit of time to find there. Then Virus, second driver now into the 28s, but quite the difference. 28.1 for Berry, driver in P2, 28.9. We've got a 29.6 for Andre. He goes up into P3. Martin goes quickest, 27.4. Of course, Mercedes, I believe they're leading the Constructors' Championship. I was about to say they're leading the Constructors' Championship, but now I think, let me just check. Yes, they do. They lead the Constructors' Championship, 274 points. Unfortunately for them, they have both their cars here tonight. It's always a good opportunity for the teams with both cars just to claw their way back into the championship. Things haven't been going according to plan till now. Of course, Martin has picked up 3 victories this season. Maori All Black picked up another 3 victories this season. Andre, of course, picked up a victory this season. Andre currently down in P5 of 129.6. There's a lot of worrying lightning outside my comms box. Fortunately not on the track, but outside my comms box, lots of lightning, lots of thunder. So if you can hear that, I don't think you can, but if you can hear that, apologies. There it goes again. And if everything suddenly goes off, well, that's the lightning. Will returns to the pits after that first run of 150.2. Maniac 130.7 in P8. This is the second Mercedes. Get to see a lap from him, Skulk. And to everyone watching, of course, this is Q1, just the one qualifying session, and Redline Racing, as with the other leagues on this channel, just the 18-minute session for everybody to get around and set their lap time. Sometimes we have a full grid of 20, and that can be quite tricky. All of these drivers, well, basically like the Q3 6, just 10 drivers out on circuit. And you should have ample space on the race circuit. We actually did have a car join. Was it Skulk that joined? We started session 9, we're up to 10. Somebody did join. Not sure who that was. Maybe Skulk, because he's the last man to get a timed lap. Goes around the final corner. Let's see what he can do. No lap time from the Mercedes. Not yet. He'll be looking to get up the road, get close to his teammate. Leaders, Mercedes, have both their cars, if not on the front row, very close to it. You're looking at Andre, several laps now on that same set of soft tires, something we've seen him do many times. So a strategy we've seen from some other drivers, putting on a set of soft tires, putting on some extra laps of fuel, doing 2, 3, maybe 4 laps on one set of tires, not really going for all-out pace. It's coming to terms with the circuit. Then at the end, give yourself 1 or 2 runs on a brand new set of softs with the car as light as it can be. It's like getting yourself used to driving the car when it doesn't feel that good. And at the end, drive it at its very best. 129.6 for now, but I believe that lap time will come down when he drains that fuel. Puts on some fresh rubber. Filters over the line again, 131.5. Battery is completely depleted, so that was a quick lap from the second Mercedes. 131.5, must have left the circuit at some stage, as we know he's a little quicker than that. Berry currently P2, 28.1. These lap times, Martin 27.4. Every time you think you're getting close and somebody does that, just the biggest knock. Takes the air out of you. Maybe at first the gap is half a second. You go out there, you strip the fuel, you put on the new rubber, you go and you get 4 tenths. You think, okay, I'm a tenth away, there's hope. One more run, I might get it done. He goes out, extends the gap by a further 7 tenths, and you think to yourself, nah, come on. Ferrari now going into the slowest part of the race circuit. Test 28.1. Only one driver has seen the 27s tonight, and that's Martin, championship leader, 27.4. He is on an out lap, looking to improve on that lap even further. For the time being, though, does look very safe. Andre P6 also on an out lap. Is he on an out lap? He is on an out lap. That is a little strange. I thought he would have swapped his tyres. Andre has come back out of the pits for a second run. Still on those same tyres. I wonder if that was a mistake. We'll find out. I've done that before. Gone out for a second or third run. And it's usually down the pit lane exit that I go, oh damn. Well, Formula One makes a return this weekend with the Las Vegas Grand Prix, but if you guys have been following the news in Nevada, Las Vegas, well, there's a chance. For now, a slight chance. Grand Prix is not happening. The torrential rains have fallen and are expected to fall more, especially this Friday. Huge storm alert for Las Vegas. With it being a desert, well, there's not much soil absorption, so what you have is very, very quick flooding. We'll even see a practice session on Friday. Top Gun, he's got a full battery, so he's definitely not pushing. He's on an outlap. Maniac, P9, 30.3 down in P9. Skulk, 51.5 back in the pits. No improvement from him for now. 27.4. Still the time to beat. And Berry joins the 27s, as does Winterish. Martin P1 27.4, then Berry P2 27.8, and Winterish. How close is that? 27.8.9, just 0.05 of a second between P2 and 3. And a huge drop down to the driver in P4. Go from a 27.8 down to a 28.9, 1.1 seconds between 3 and 4. And then another gap, 0.3 of a second down to Will. What a very close qualifying session. We've seen qualifying sessions that are separated by a second and a half in the top 15. Not tonight. Some pretty big gaps amongst all the drivers. The closest there. But the only one really that's extremely close is those P2 and P3. 0.05 of a second separate the two. Winterish, that was a successful run. Came the third driver into the 27s. Thinking all I needed was 0.05 of a second. The most frustrating thing is the driver is usually able to identify where he lost that time almost immediately. Top Gun, he's the only driver out on circuit. Virus also out on circuit, but on an outlap. Top Gun 29.3 takes him up into P6. Of course, with it being a small field, everybody who finishes this race, assuming we start with 10, will collect points. So it's going to be one of those races that's all about getting to the end. Shouldn't be too chaotic, just the 10 cars, so everybody's got ample space. No need for us to see any lap 1 madness. Of course, Suzuka also very well known for the 24-hour motorcycle race, similar to the Le Mans 24. Can you imagine hours on a motorcycle? Obviously there are several riders and they swap, but still 2-3 hours, one stint around this circuit on a motorcycle. Insanity. Of course, there is a motorcycle championship called the World Superbike Championship. Has lost a little bit of its shine in recent years, but there was a time it was pretty up there in prestige with MotoGP. And at the time, they had many, many international rounds. And what made them different from MotoGP is they tended to use F1 circuits. The Italian Grand Prix was at Imola. Japanese Grand Prix, you guessed that it was here. And their second Italian Grand Prix. Imagine MotoGP at Monza. And of course, the season opener, I think for about 5 seasons in a row, was Kyalami. This is Andre in P7, 29.6. We saw the first run. He went out there, did 3 laps on the same set of tyres. Then went out for a second run on those same set of tyres. So I didn't expect to see any sort of improvement from him. Not sure if he was doing one more run, one more test, or if that was a mistake in selecting the tyres. But he is out on track now. This is the end of his outlap. Going for his first, what I would say, proper timed lap of the evening. He knew what he was doing first time round. First, you're going to have heavy fuel, and by the time you get rid of the fuel, your tyres are no longer pristine. This time, light fuel, rippy tyres, put it all together, and there's no reason why that lap time should not come down considerably. I think he may have backed off this lap. There we go. Battery just not really discharging, it usually shows. Maniac also getting off the throttle. Martin goes even quicker, 27.3, finds a further 10th of a second. It's a Skulk. One Mercedes leads the field, the other at the rear of the field, and Skulk with one last opportunity to change that. Can he give Mercedes double glory? Can he put the second Mercedes up on the front row, or can he even go on to challenge his teammate? Find out after the final corner as he heads over the line. Current best 31.5. Great improvement, not good enough for the front row. But he goes up into P5 with a 129.2. Just 0.3 away from getting himself on the second row. Still have one driver. He's about to go over the line, and he does 27.898, so he does not find an improvement. Winterish stays in P3. So there are your results. Martin taking pole position. Berry coming from an international place, apparently. The international flag, P2, then Winterish, P3, Virus, P4, Skulk, P5, Will, P6, Top Gun, P7, Andre, P8, Peter, P9, and Maniac is going to make up the field. Usually you use the international flag if your flag's not allowed to be shown. So I'm going to presume that Maniac and Berry are either from North Korea or Russia. Who knows? The one difference in format here at Redline Racing is that there is a short enforced break between qualifying and the race. We should have slightly more extended break than what you're used to, but the drivers will be running around having a last smoke, getting a drink, maybe just preparing their minds for what's coming up in this race. Of course, most importantly, the most important part of this race. People don't understand the importance of turn 1. You can get everything right in qualifying. You could have practiced hours for this race and be completely confident in your victory. If you get turn 1 wrong, whether it's your fault, whether you run into somebody else, whether they run into you, that's the end. That's the end of the race. That's the end of the plan. That's the end of the strategy. It's all over. Turn one, so important. Sometimes better to secede a position than to lose it all in turn one. Max Verstappen would strongly disagree. Gotta say, this crowd sitting here on top of the pits, they do not look excited to be here. Occasional clap, and that's about it. Of course, if you haven't heard the news, F126 will not be its own game release. F126 DLC content will be in a form of a DLC, a paid DLC. And then, of course, looking to concentrate more on what's coming in the F127 game. We're getting up to crazy numbers. I started playing this as, I think it was F1, well, online. It was F117, but the first F1 Codemasters game I ever bought was 2011. Of course, I had many F1 games before that. No formation lap. I keep on forgetting no formation lap in this league. We're going straight off into the race. Your 5 red lights have lit up and they have gone off. We're underway into one of the most famous turn ones on the calendar. And it looks like everything's gone pretty smoothly. They say not a busy race circuit, so there's no real need for madness into turn one. Everybody's starting the race on the medium tyre. It's going to be a 27 lap race, and it's a challenging 27 lap race. The circuit, so easy to catch you out. Lots of grass on the outside. Some circuits will have a lot of tarmac on the outside of the circuit, which means if you put a wheel off the circuit, it's not that bad. You might get a bit of dirty racetrack on your tyre, but that's about it. Over here, you're going to get gravel or you're going to get grass. Really don't want to leave the race circuit. This is probably one of the places that has a tarmac runoff. Over the flyover they go. Something unique here in Suzuka. No other circuit on the F1 calendar has a flyover, and I don't even remember one ever having a flyover. Unique to Suzuka. The end of lap 1, Martin leads the way. 31.6 was his first lap. That lap will come down as the race goes on. It's going to be interesting now, everybody on the medium tyre at the same time, so there's going to be a lot of drivers being able to play with strategy to make up position. There's no incidents, there's no safety cars. Well, everybody's going to come into the pits at round about the same time, and I'm going to guess they're all going to put on hard tyres. If you want to make overtakes, if you want to gain ground in this race, you're going to have to do it on the race circuit the old-fashioned way. It's going to be all about speed and track position. I don't think you can rely too much on the pits. We've had an early pit stop for Peter. You can see him down in P10. We also have Skulk very far adrift from the rest of the field, 20 seconds adrift from the rest of the field, so he must have had some sort of encounter, probably with that Red Bull. The Red Bull had to come into the pits, get a fresh set of hard tyres. Skulk still out on the race circuit, and I don't see any damage to that Mercedes. So either it was an incident with the Red Bull or he severely left the race circuit. Back at the front, Martin leads the way 1.7 seconds, so he has already comfortably broken DRS. And if you feel you're at threat of picking up penalties on this complicated layout, then you need to build up those gaps as much as possible. 2.1 seconds for the lead. Then we've got Winterish down in P3, Maniac in P4. He's had a good start to the race. Top Gun P5, Andre P6. This trio here following closely. Red Bull, RB, Alpine. Second RB just a little adrift, and he's defending from one of the McLarens. In fact, the only McLaren. Skulk in the second Mercedes. What a great lap in qualifying right at the end, taken from the rear of the field up to P5, I think it was. Then at the start of the race, sometimes it's not turn one that gets you. Sometimes you think, right, I'm through turn one, now it's about getting to the end of the race. But sometimes you just get caught up in the heat of the moment. Lap one, lap two, all your opponents are still so close together, and you think just one late braking maneuver and I can pick up a position. Sometimes, most of the time, doesn't end well. Continues doing what he's doing. He's not going to have to worry about making any overtakes. Leads the way, 3.5 seconds. There is a battle for P2. Berry and Winterish. It's too close together. Let's keep our eyes on this battle. 0.2 of a second between the two. Ferrari versus Aston Martin. Two cars driven by Sebastian Vettel. In fact, two cars driven by Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso. There's Andre in P4, 6.9 seconds adrift from the podium positions now. Martin, Berry and Winterish quite a way up the road. 2.6 seconds the lead for the gap for the lead. I wonder if Martin just lost a little bit of time there. For the gap getting all the way up to 3 seconds. Has lost a little bit of that since then. Caution in sector 1, but it appears to be all it is. It disappears from our screens. No more action taken. You're Martin, every time you see that yellow flag, you're thinking, don't. You don't want that safety car. That's the last thing you want. It comes out, it cancels out your gap, all the work you've done so far. Neutralizes all of those advantages, and if you've got penalties next to your name, it's a race breaker. Winterish, he was chasing Berry much closer just a few laps ago. Things have fallen off a little bit. The top three now very much apart. Andre 7 seconds adrift, not making any gains on those podium positions for now. Maniac, well, he's not comfortable, is he? Red Bull, the senior team, being chased down by the two RBs. Wonder if the Red Bull boss wouldn't have got on the phone already and been like, listen, what are you doing? Look at that brand name on your car and think about what you're doing. Two RBs chasing down the Red Bull. got to be careful not to run into each other. Maniac, Top Gun, Virus, they want to chase down and pass the Red Bull, but they get involved in fighting each other. We're going to let that Red Bull disappear up the road. But one of the RBs goes for the overtake. The second one thinks about it. Thought about it. Two RBs, almost a double overtake on the Red Bull, but the Red Bull gets out of shape on the exit. Caution in Sector 2. That appears all it is. We've had a retirement. Has it triggered a safety car? The entire track has turned yellow. Don't see a solid yellow dot, do we? No, we don't. So I think we are under virtual safety car conditions. Fortunately, the game does not give us that particular notification. The drivers can see it. The drivers driving around on circuit right now, if they look to the top left, they will see virtual safety car or full safety car. We don't see it. We just see where the incident happened. Caution Sector 2. One way to tell is that track map lights up in yellow, and if you can spot a bright yellow dot, well, that's a safety car. If not, virtual safety car. The other difference between the two is the virtual safety car gives you absolutely no warning about when it's ending. We're back to racing speed. While the virtual safety car is supposed to neutralize the race, if you know exactly how to play it just right, you gain advantage. PTSD. That gives me PTSD. That teammates should not do that, particularly through that corner. And it just so happens both the cars are white. Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, final corner in Suzuka, that very chicane. Your championship decider by just 1 point when the two teammates collided. RBs making gains off the field, and they're doing it together. Perfect situation in any season, in any league. If you've got a teammate who match you in pace, sometimes drivers will take it the wrong way and fight that teammate a little bit too much. The other way, if you work together and you've got similar pace, you can come through the field by bullying one car after the other. Peter picks up the first penalty of the evening. A 3-second penalty. Of course, any hope of making up late positions under a late safety car or rolling the dice or having something like that, it all sort of goes away when you've got a penalty next to your name. A late safety car will definitely not help you. It could be the end of you. Fortunately for everyone who is circulating this race circuit at the moment, points are on the board. All you need to do is see the checkered flag. It will pick up points for your efforts. So even if you're down in last place and you think, the heck with this, just keep going. Points are on the table. I always say, if you lose the championship by a point, you're going to know exactly where you left that point. When I was racing in a league called TNB, we had one driver who had a bit of a short temper. He had joined the league for about 3 seasons, and each season he was getting progressively quicker, occasionally winning races. But every other race, he'd crash, throw an absolute fit, swear in the party chat, probably throw his controller, do whatever. He was a madman. After a few seasons, he calmed down, and this looked like it was going to be the season he finally took the championship. Somewhere in the middle of the season, round 5 or 6, he had what can only be described as a rage quit. While in 7th place of a race, he went on to lose that championship by a point. Had he finished that race in the points where he already was, needed to do another, I think it was about halfway distance, just needed to finish the race, would have won that championship. Never leave available points on the table. Even as unlikely as that championship may seem, you never know what is coming in the next rounds. Two RBs still so close together. The race just over a second between the two, 1.1. Crucial gap now because the second RB will just fall out of DRS. Going him around, well, he's going to lose that benefit. I'll be back with you all in just a minute. We're back. Did we miss anything? Apparently not. I can tell you Maniac is currently in the pits. He was ready quite far adrift from the rest of the field. This is only going to send him even further into the abyss. Martin leads the way. 1.5 seconds back to Berry, so that gap has come down. That initial speed he had at the start of the race, now just, will you look at that? Will you look at that? I didn't expect to see one. I really did not expect to see one. Not tonight. I thought 10 drivers on the circuit. Nah, it's happened. We had the first retirement. It did not trigger a safety car. It triggered just the virtual safety car, so we got away with that. The second retirement of the evening. It's done exactly what the leaders would not have wanted. Lap 10 of 27, full safety car conditions. Leaders are in the pits. Andre also coming into the pits. Top 4, top 5, everyone having the same idea. Expect to also see Will peeling off into the pits. Somebody going to hold on to track position, or is everybody going to dive into the pits? Don't mind watching the safety car in silence. I'll be back in just a minute. My pets are making a heck of a racket. I'll be back with you. I'll be back with you soon. Sorry about that. You can blame them, not me. We haven't missed much. We are under full safety car conditions as we were when I left. Martin has led the entirety of this race. The car came out, cancelled all the work. Now the entire field will basically, at the restart, probably finish this race or look to finish this race on that set of hard tyres. So I don't expect to see another pit stop unless the driver has something go wrong. Gives us a chance to bring up the calendar that we still have left this season, this year, with 2025 coming to a close. Next week, we've got a sprint race in Brazil. Then the first race of December, we do Silverstone, then Singapore, and we finish off the year relatively late in the year, 18th of December. As far as the Drivers' Championship goes, Martin, that's the leader in the race as we speak. He leads the championship 168 points. His nearest competitor, Mauri All Black, 154, is not here tonight. Then the next is Sculp P3 in the second. Mercedes not having a good race this evening, qualified P5, first retirement of the evening. And then Andre, 101 points. The only other driver in triple digits. He picked up some nice points for his efforts here tonight. As far as the Constructors' Championship goes, there it is. Mercedes 274, Haas 237. But they're missing a star driver. Car is coming in rather. The track is no longer yellow, slowing things down. Very hovering there, hovering on the inside. Does not want Martin to get the jump on him as he did at the start. Of course, he opened up that thing so quickly at the start. I want to try and hold on to that Mercedes as long as possible. You can see the weaves there. Nobody picking up slipstream. Ooh. What happened there? We've had a big spin. I'm not sure if that's a retirement. He managed to keep it going. Yes, he did. He managed to get that back on circuit, but I'll be very surprised if that McLaren doesn't have some sort of damage to it. Missing its right end plate. Frustrating right after a safety car. You have to come into the pit. It means you're going to be no less than 20 seconds behind the rest of the field. The front wing pit stop takes a little longer than that. Always talk about this estimated time in the pit lane. I think one of the most important things to remember about that estimated time is it means nothing if you're getting a bad exit and a bad entry to the pit. All of that's so crucial. Get it wrong, it will lead to a penalty. 13 of 27. Get over the line for this lap means we've passed halfway distance. And Peter was the first driver to pick up the penalty earlier on today, and now he's the first driver to pick up the second. The only driver on track with a penalty, and he has called it a day. He has called it a day. And Peter completed DNFs from this race. And we have 7 runners remaining. Just a caution in Sector 3, no virtual safety car, no safety car, not for now at least. So we should see this flag disappear from our screens. And he has also left the session. Like I said earlier, never leave points on the table. Never know when you're going to need them. Even in a scenario where it looks you're not going to need them. You know what the season is going to give you. What the very next round is going to give you. Very 1 second adrift, so crucial again. He's fallen out of that DRS. Means he's just not able to challenge Martin. So difficult once you fall out of that DRS range. Which makes me question the 2026 regulations. Of course, next year when DRS opens, well, it opens for everyone else as well. So that advantage falls away. And it's almost like being in a DRS train. If those cars do have amazing overtaking abilities, well, I'll be pretty surprised. 9/10, Berry has pulled it back just a little. Of course, it's absolutely balancing 9/10, 1 second, 9/10, second, and the important part is when they go over that DRS activation line, where is that gap? But Berry's closing the gap. Does Martin have damage? Did he make a mistake? He's got a terrible run coming out of Spoon, and that gap is closed all the way down to 0.6 of a second. This next corner is one of the most impressive on the race circuit. They just step the car to the left, full throttle. Now into the final chicane, and he's going to have the full allotment of DRS available to him this time around. We look at his rear wing, there it goes. Opens up, that should give him a boost. This time around, not close enough. Really want to be about half a second away, 0.4 of a second away coming out of that chicane and get this very grip. For him, by the time he got to turn 1, the gap was already 0.8 of a second. Be a little closer before you open up that DRS and have an absolute launch. Forgotten what those 2 corners are called, and I'm not too impressed with myself. Is it Techno 1 and Techno 2? I hope that is what it's called. Pretty sure it's called Techno 1 and Techno 2. We're riding still with Berry. Get away from him to the broadcast cam. 0.6 of a second between the two. Martin really looked like he had everything sorted in that first run. That run with mediums really looked like nobody could keep up with him. Then at the start of this hard run, it looked like we were just going to see more of the same. Picking up the DRS really quickly, but since then Berry's just reeled him in a little. He's been able to just hold on with his very fingertips, trying to reel that Mercedes in by making him feel something he hasn't felt all night. Pressure. Winterish, I was going to say he's in a comfortable P3, but not really in a comfortable P3. He's got Andre within DRS. a safety car can do. Andre looked pretty far away from podium positions. He had a strong P4, but pretty far away from P3. That safety car has cancelled all of that out. And now a podium seems like a realistic possibility. Only problem for Andre is the 3 drivers ahead of him are all considered aliens. Gotta admit it, Deathbean. You get the aliens on the circuit, you get everybody else. And if you win best of the rest and the only ones ahead of you are aliens, well, you've done pretty good for yourself. I've seen a few of these drivers who, in the past, SKR and SAFRL, they've been broadcast on this channel for 7 seasons. I've seen a lot of these guys. I've seen drivers that were once towards the rear of the field, that were once midfield drivers, that now occasionally challenge those aliens. And we've seen that general class of aliens also grow over time. The more quick drivers you have in a league, the more it inspires the rest of the grid to try and catch up. And the next thing you know, a generation of drivers coming through that are awfully quick and all homegrown. Andre keeping that gap within DRS. 0.8 of a second. I thought 0.8 not going to be close enough. Does open up DRS. So he wishes that thing could open up even more. Close. But all he can do is apply the pressure and wait for the mistake. If no mistake comes, then you need to take matters into your own hands, get on that rear diffuser, force a mistake, go for the lunge, or accept P4. Those are your options. Seven drivers remain from the 10 that started. Of course, all drivers will receive points just for finishing this race. Just a few laps to go. If you hate this circuit, just a few more laps of torture. You can start counting them down. You're in the single digits. Very picks up a penalty. Maniac had a penalty, but that is the most consequential penalty on the grid. Three grid place, 3-second penalty for Berry. That's the driver in P2. That effectively eliminates his chances here because Martin would have to make a serious error. Not only would Berry have to get past him, he'd have to open up a 3-second gap in order to hold on to that victory. And all of that would have to happen in 7 laps. Maniac, 13 seconds drift from the next driver, will even further. That Baronet's been in the wars. Full of scars. Martin just counting down the laps, hoping that it all ends soon. No more madness, no more late safety cars. Of course, we don't know if the drivers are on warnings. He will know if he's got a warning, maybe two. Maybe he's on the edge of a warning or on the edge of a penalty. We will have that relief that his main opponent has a penalty behind him. Doesn't extend this gap. Well, then Winterish. I think if things were to stay like this, Winterish would finish in P2. And of course, if Martin were to pick up a penalty at this stage, Winterish could steal the victory from P3. So very important to stay out of that penalty column with just a few laps to go. Andre has gone down a position. He was in P4 not so long ago, challenging for a possible podium. Now down in P5, he's lost P4 to Virus. Does that Alpine have any damage? Does not appear to be the case. Either Virus got passed by a overtake, or Andre made some sort of a mistake. Andre still close to the RB, hasn't accepted that P5 yet. Love to take P4 back, put himself back in podium contention. Those podium drivers now just starting to clear away a little. 1.6 seconds between P3 and 4. This is not good. My screen is freezing. Not have any of that. Well, I can see the freezing, so you can definitely see the freezing because you only see what I see. So I do apologize. I don't know why it's doing this. But we've had so much fun with tech in November, haven't we? This is great. Can we stop with the freezing? For now, it seems like we've stopped with the freezing. Let's not talk about it again. Death Queen supports Andre. Death Queen supports Virus. But in a situation like this, the bias comes out. The Alpine comes first in this situation. Another little bit of a pause. Hopefully we can get through this next 5 laps without any chaos. If you really want to get Death Queen in a tight squeeze, then you'd have to make her decide who she supports between Andre and Skull. Now that would complicate things. Exactly. Yo. What a South African word. Yo. Pretty sure that means nothing anywhere else. Yo. Of course, the time I spent in the States, they thought my English slang was absolutely ridiculous. I thought their English was pretty ridiculous too. If any of you think it's a joke, it's not a joke. I met several Americans who said they don't speak English, they speak American. Ah yes, keeping a straight face and speaking to Americans. So much fun. It's also where about 75% of my limited knowledge of Afrikaans came from while living in the States. Because, well, I like swearing at people. I couldn't do it in English. Couldn't do it in Portuguese. Because the Mexicans knew all the words. So, Afrikaans it is. Following Virus, P4 now opened up the gap to Andre. Andre in P5, 1.6 seconds adrift. I have to accept that position if there isn't misfortunes up the road. Maniac, P6. I think he's going to make up too much ground. World P7 also. Big gap to the next opponent. 25 of 27, not a long way to go. 7 drivers remain from the 10 that started this race. Redline racing at 8 p.m, the final race of the week. All the seasons coming to an end, the year coming to an end. And NFR will go on a break. Commentate on motorsport to talk about. Everything just shut down. The worst part of it. If you're a motorsport fan, it's the worst time of the year. Barry, the driver in P2. He's been as close as this for a long time, but look at Winterish. Winterish is now putting himself in the conversation. Barry, I don't think, can win this race. He needs to make the overtake and build up an absolute gap in the space of 2 laps. But Winterish is P2 on the timesheet because of that penalty, but he wants to get P2 on the race circuit, and he can see the leader right there. Thinks if I can get past this Ferrari, there's a chance. If I can get up there and try myself, there is a chance. Winterish right at the end of the race, finding new energy. That's all it takes, being able to see that position you're chasing. Sometimes when you're in clean air, you can't see your opponent, fall into a lull. The moment you can see your opponent, find that little bit of extra energy, using all of the racetrack again. Sector 1, but it's too late in the race. Caution. No more time for safety cars. Too late on in the race for that. We'll just get yellow flags and cars that disappear from our screen if there are any retirements. Top 3, Martin, Berry, Winterish. A little disappointing that car with the penalty is the car in the middle of that battle. Winterish does have pace. Challenge Martin for the victory. Not much you can do about it. And behind the Ferrari, he will claim that P2. Try my maths on this one, but Virus also not too far behind. He might still steal a podium. All really hangs on this last lap. If Berry has a bad last lap, could find himself off the podium. Even though he spent the entirety of the race in P2. Penalties in F1 can be so harsh. You use all of the tarmac available, you test the limits. Sometimes you go over the limit just a little, looking for that extra hundredth of a second. And it costs you 3 seconds in the wrong direction. Sometimes it's all it takes. You see these three drivers so close in pace. And the only thing that's taken Berry out of the equation is that one mistake. Looking to make the overtake on the circuit. He's gonna get it done. Nicely done. Had to wait almost till the end, but gets it done on the race circuit. Doesn't want to get it done via the penalty, but he's run wide. He's run wide. The Aston Martin. The Aston Martin visits the gravel trap. Andre gets by, does he? No, he doesn't. Who got by? It was Andre. Andre gets by, and Andre steals a podium. And that's why I say you never know what the next couple of laps are going to unravel. Martin takes the victory. Virus P2, Andre P3, and the two men that were challenging for this victory not so long ago, they're going to finish 4 and 5. Maniac, still waiting for him to cross the line. Where is Maniac? There he is, coming around the final corner. Then a further 30 seconds behind, entering Spoon, exiting Spoon. This is the one and only McLaren. They'll be hoping for a better performance than this in the Vegas Grand Prix this weekend. That is, if that Grand Prix happens. There we go. Final car over the line. Season 2, round 8 has come to an end. Now wait for the results. Hopefully you get the results on Tuesday. They skip the results. Race winner is going to go to Martin. Fastest lap to Winterish. Driver of the day goes to Andre. Virus gets the most overtakes. Your race winner, championship leader, Martin, also picks up cleanest driver. Through the results real quick. Martin takes the victory. Virus P2. Andre stealing the podium right at the end. Fantastic. Berry P4. Winterish P5. Maniac 6. Will P7. And then the list of 3 retirements. Peter, Top Gun, and Skulk. And there we go. That's the end of that. There were quite a few of you in here at a stage. Actually, at one stage, there were more people watching the stream than there were drivers on the circuit. So good to have all of your support. Really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying Redline racing. Hopefully in weeks to come, or even seasons to come, we can see Redline racing with a busier grid. Of course, the more cars you see on the track, usually the more chaos you see on the track, and the more chaos you see on the track usually leads to even more entertainment for the viewer, and of course for myself. So one more time, I'm going to thank everybody who joined the chat. I am having a problem with Discord at the moment, so there's going to be no interviews until I can get that sorted out. But to the top 3, Andre, Virus, and of course the winner of the race, the pole sitter, and the championship leader, Martin. Fantastic drive on the night. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to speak to you again on Sunday. And until then, cheers.
Is that real sweat?
It's real sweat. I'm a high performance athlete. Athletes sweat. Sweat, baby. Sweat, sweat.
You've got a fire burning deep inside, a spark in the dark where your dreams collide. They'll tell you to stop, say the road's too long, but your heart keeps beating to a rebel song. Take a step, don't look below. Every scar's a story, only you will know. The weight of the world can't break your stride. You're carving your name where the stars reside. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. The ground may shake, but your roots run deep. Every fall you take is a promise you keep. The doubters will fade, their voices will break, 'cause your soul's on fire and it's yours to take. Run through the rain, chase the endless fight. Every dream you claim lights a spark in the night. The horizon's calling, it's yours to claim. A warrior's heart with a fearless flame. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. Stand tall when the thunder roars, break the locks, kick down the doors. Every step is a battle won, your story's just begun. Oh, let it soar, forevermore, forevermore. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. So keep on climbing, don't ever slow. The stars are waiting where the brave ones go. You'll rise to the sky. Yeah, you'll rise to the sky. A legend in the making till the end of time.